Hi. So what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to walk you through the AP American History Brinkley textbook. There's a couple of various things when you log into your account. The first thing is that this is over here is where you can actually access your ebook. So this is your actual textbook where you can type in various pages and it'll take you directly to that page. You can scroll up and down. Couple things to notice. Notice these little notepads and bookmarks and highlighter options will show up and will actually scroll down and move with you. So regardless of where you're at, this little toolbar will follow you. If you want to print out your textbook, you can go ahead and do that. Your table of contents is up here. Pretty standard, pretty simple, easy to use. So what I'm really going to show you, or what I'm interested in showing you, is how to use your Learn Smart Smartbook. So when you click this top assignment, it'll load your Smartbook, hopefully if your internet connection is working. And right now mine seems to be taking forever. The use of, or the purpose of Smartbook is, yes, it's your ebook, but the the good thing about Smartbook is that it actually helps narrow down and helps focus you onto the main concepts and the main points and main ideas of each chapter. So when you log into Smartbook, you're going to see a variety of different things up here. There's a lot of little buttons and a lot of goodies. So the first thing, when it loads, is going to be each page of the textbook over here. Each page broken down by section. So if you need to go back and look at America in the pre-Columbian days, here are the pages that relate to that. If you're looking at Europe looking westward, here are the various pages for that. And then the arrival of the English towards the bottom. If you want an outline chapter, this is where you can go and see if you actually can figure out how things are going to be organized and just kind of test your understanding of what are the subheadings or where would these subheadings fit. So you can drag and drop, and then as you go, once they're all up there, you can evaluate and see how right your organization has been. So that's just a little tool just to see if you understand the layout of the chapter and how the topics or concepts actually connect. So what you have on here is, here's your nice little textbook, and notice if you highlight or if you scroll over, there's a nice little box that tells you that the text is dimmed because it's less relevant for you to study. So if you go back, if you go down and look, all of your pages are going to be dimmed out. Well, that's because you need to figure out, or it needs to figure out, what specifically you, personally, the reader, need to study. So if you want to read the entire book, or if you want to read the adapted book, come up here to the top, click Read Adaptively.
Smartbook helps you put emphasis.
And then what it'll do here, same kind of thing, things are blurred out. Then what it'll do is it'll come and it will highlight the various main ideas. So a lot of the text is going to be cut out, is going to be dimmed out, and it's going to focus on the larger concepts. So it's going to focus on the bigger ideas and the bigger themes. So it's a way to cut down on your reading, but still focus on the main ideas. So the next thing you can do is, if you want to use it as a review, you can hit your main ideas. The other good thing you can try and do is use this practice option. Now with this practice option is, it'll give you it'll give you questions, multiple choice, fill in the blank. And if you're completely stumped of what it is, there's this nice little helpful hint that when you click read about this, it will actually take you back to the portion of the text and show you where you can find the answer. So somewhere in this highlighted section is where the answer is. And if you get it wrong, so I'm just going to type in scholars named early land migrants to North America, the Clovis. And I'm unsure about that answer. So it's going to tell you whether or not you're right or wrong. Okay, well, I got that one right. So click enter. It's going to take me to the next question. Same thing. If I'm not entirely sure, click on it, read about this, and over here on the right-hand side, it'll take me to the portion of the textbook that it's in. Same thing, repeat. So I'm going to say that the early inhabitants of Americas came from Australia. I'm confident that that's my answer. Nope, I'm wrong. Actually from Asia. So now again, here's the nice little option to go and highlight, and it'll tell me where this various answer is. So now, once I've gone through that, before I go to the recharge, one of the other things to look at is that up here it monitors your progress so that you can see how far through the chapter you've actually gotten. I'm 1% done. So let's say you're done and you don't really want to practice anything. You think you know everything. So I want to recharge. And it's going to give you this nice little warning saying, are you sure you want to recharge? Are you positive you want to recharge? So what this is going to actually show you is it's going to, after you've answered all the questions and after you've practiced, then recharge is where it'll come back and it'll say, here are the areas that you are weak on. Try looking at now, can you do those? Here are some of the areas that you were stronger on. How well do you do on those? So the recharge is kind of like a retest after you've practiced. So you read the book, you get the main ideas, you practice your knowledge, and then you go back and you recharge and you re-examine your weak areas, work on those, and reaffirm your answers. Now another option you have, and that's Smartbook. So some of these other little tools are pretty easily explained. Obviously, increase the text size, decrease. You can scroll through the various chapters this way, page left and right this way. And if you want to hide all of these controls, click on that nice little thing. There's all the controls gone. There's the full page of the book. And then if you come back up here towards the top, it'll reappear. And there's all my controls again. Another option that Smartbook has, if you come over to the little hot dogs, is there's something at the bottom called Learn Smart. So Learn Smart is what's called a progressive test. And Learn Smart will ask you when it switches over. Learn Smart is a bank of questions, and it's another way to kind of test your knowledge. And when you answer a question, there's 69 items left. So when you answer a question, notice there's no read about this any longer. So which of the following was not an economic motivator for England to acquire New World colonies? I'm going to say that it's to gain economic independence. And I think that's the right answer. So my answer is wrong, and again, I can challenge it. So now I'm going to click OK, and it's going to move on. But notice the read about this in the book option is gone, because this is an actual test of your ability. What's going to happen is from this question on, these questions, these 79 items, are going to readjust based on how confident I am with my answers and how accurately I answered each question. So now I'm going to adapt, it's going to adapt to my learning. Which of the following diseases? Smallpox, pretty confident in that one. Okay, so that one I got right. It was a choose all the apply, so it's partially correct. So I clearly need some work. So again, if you notice, it's going to adapt it. So you go through all of these various different things, and you just kind of work your way through, and it's just a nice little reminder of how well you know content. And it'll adjust, and it'll notice you'll see a little pop-up screen and it'll say adjust for learning here after I click OK. Oh, and of course that time it didn't do it. So what's going to happen is that all of this is going to continue to adjust, and if you notice my program bar is going, and it's just going to test your knowledge, and then when you're all done, it'll give you a nice little summary of where you're at, your weak points, and the areas that you can go back and look at. So when you're done with Learn Smart, then you can switch over back here and you can go back to Smartbook. And Smartbook will take those questions again, and it'll, if you're unsure, the same questions or similar questions, and if you're unsure of how things, what the answer is, then you'll have that option once again on Smartbook to go and actually reread that section in your book. So Smartbook is an assessment of your learning with the notes right next to you. So if you get a question wrong, it'll tell you where the answer is and where you can find it. And then Learn Smart is a way that you can actually go and actually assess and get immediate feedback on how well you know the information without having your crutch of the book right next to you. There's some other little features, but for the most part, these are the main ones. In my next little video, I'll take you through a couple other of the more nitpicky little features, but other than that, that's all there is for Smartbook. So happy exploring, happy studying, happy reviewing, and have a good evening.